λοιπόν ένας τύπος αυτής της εκκλησίας το μοναστήρι. Είναι μια ολόκληρη εκκλησία. Είναι μια σύναξη αυτής της εκκλησίας.
The monastery is an image, a model of the church in its entirety. It is an assembly of the church. In consequence, the spiritual father, the igumenos, is in the image of God. He is in the place of Christ, and all the others, the monks, form the ranks of the saints, both the living and the dead. The monastery, the sacrament, that is to say, and the spiritual father, is the visible element of the mystery, which hides the invisible factor God, and all that exists in the church, which does not appear, but is perceived by the intelligence. Since the life, the very existence of a spiritual father is so sacramental, do you see, so important, it means that it is he who takes these people by the hand, who shapes them, so that they may be able to take their place in the life of the church and of Christ. The superior, therefore, is not only concerned with the food, the daily necessities of the monastery, whatever material needs require attention. He is above all the one who introduces souls into the heart of the mystery, so that they can be guided into the perfection of the mystical union with God. One must understand that the monastery is also a kind of society. It is also a genuine community. It is the community of paradise, the community of the kingdom of heaven. It is a community of all the saints in which each one of the faithful, each monk, in the present case, has absolute rights to the life of Christ. And Christ has absolute rights in every soul. The monastery is very important indeed. It preserves the rights of men which he had before the fall, that is to say, the possibility to have God as his very own. This fact the superior has to bring to life every day before the monks, before the disciples of the Lord himself. He is therefore a teacher, who, with the knowledge which he imparts, above all the revelation of the knowledge of the true God, which he should put into practice before his monks, by the fire which he will kindle in their hearts, with the understanding which he should give to all of them, he makes them to feel Christ as present, and also as the one who is to come. Whatever he does day by day, the life of a monk becomes an expectation, a vigilant guard for God. And little by little, he'll take the monk by the hand and lead him up, so to speak, so as to pass unto him the grace of God, because the grace of God accomplishes everything in the mystical life, so that Christ is not simply someone who is expected, but also someone who is addressed. The monk must learn to feel his teacher, the Lord. He should acquire his familiarity, his friendship, just as the choir of the apostles did. And finally, with all this, his own daily toil, and with all the tender attention of the Holy Trinity showered upon the monastery, to achieve that other thing, the sense of God as alive, present with him, sleeping with him, rising with him, walking with him. Yes, God sleeps with his disciples, his monks. He rises with them, he walks with them. That is to say, there's a complete communion of God and man. Thus, the spiritual father is, in actual fact, the one who stretches out his hands and presents the disciple to the Lord. It is he who brings down Christ and unites what is separated, the heavens and the earth, and does it so, it becomes a true dance. This is the true purpose of the spiritual father. This is how the monks feel him. That is the reason for the discipline and the obedience which you see, for the love, for the giving of self, for the confidence which are directed to the superior, not as a man, but precisely to Christ. All the monks have this feeling of a sacramental, mystical reality which exists between them, because the spiritual father is not a person who exists only for today in the monastery, but it is he who goes throughout the whole stream of Orthodox tradition. He is the one who comes forth from the action of the Holy Spirit. However much he may be a man, the sense of his mere human status is transformed within the monastery. Certainly, he is a man, really and truly alive, but he is one who is assumed by God and set apart. Consequently, he no longer leads the life of someone in this world, but while he is walking on the earth, he has the feeling, somehow, that his head is in heaven, that he is living for God. And that is one of the most important things that a monastery has to offer.
Την βίωση ενός παρόντος κόσμου, αλλά ενώ περιπατεί στην γη, κατά κάποιον τρόπον νιώθει ότι η κεφαλή του είναι στον ουρανό, ότι βιεί τον ουρανόν, ότι βιεί τον Θεόν.